So in this video, we're reviewing Amouage Opus 15 King Blue. It's unfocused, there it is. First of all, it has a really cool name. Second, I've read the kind of list of notes that it has, and I have a feeling this is going to be really, really good. This is a unisex fragrance, very modern. It only came out last year in 2023. Here's a little sample here. So I'm going to put some on. It's primarily a kind of woodsy, spicy sort of fragrance, but we'll see how it goes. Immediately, it's really, really good. It's very musky. Like first impressions at the opening, it's immediately musky and quite woodsy. Which is unique because usually you get, some of the lighter, fresher notes in the beginning, but this goes straight into the musk, which I actually quite like. There's only 3 top notes: black currant, mandarin orange, and pink pepper. The pink pepper is very prominent. Now the mandarin orange, I don't get too much of that in the opening. Usually orange notes are very, obvious. But here it's actually very toned down. Now the black currant as well is kind of mild, but you do get a little hint, kind of a distant fruitiness to it. But really in the opening you're getting a lot of that pink pepper, that spiciness, pretty much immediately followed by the more heavy musky notes of the middle notes and the base notes. The middle notes now, there's only 2 of them, frankincense and amber. So pretty much as soon as the top notes wear off, you're going to go straight into this resinous, thick, heavy, balsamic sort of smell. The frankincense is very, very prominent. If you've ever smelled frankincense, you know that it kind of has an exotic smell. It's kind of smoky without actually being smoky. Incensey, a very intense, just almost tar-like in how heavy it is. Then the base notes are where it gets really heavy, which is oud, leather, oak, patchouli, and sandalwood. So this entire fragrance is really just heavy notes on top of more heavy notes. This is definitely not a light, fresh type of fragrance. The oud, I would say, is probably the heaviest note in the entire fragrance. I would say, it is in the base notes, but I would argue that you get a lot of it just in the opening right away, because it's so prominent. Now, it's very close contention with the leather as well, because you definitely get that kind of battered old leather smell to it, like an old leather glove or something like that. And that, in combination with the oud, creates an extremely rugged, rustic smell. Now, the patchouli, the oak, and the sandalwood. The oak, in general, oak is kind of a faint note. It's usually in the background to add a little bit of character and texture to the smell. So the oak doesn't play a huge part here. The patchouli, it's on the fainter side, but you do get the sort of plant musk that it offers. And the sandalwood is also there. Again, it adds a little bit extra warmth, a certain woodsy dryness to it. But overall, the oud is extremely strong. This is on par with some of those pure oud fragrances or some of the Arabic oud fragrances, like very, very strong. Along with the frankincense and along with the leather. So those 3 notes are pretty much the core of this fragrance. They're really going to come through. This is a very strong fragrance. It's potent. It's definitely one of those long-lasting ones, great projection. This is definitely, now because it's so heavy and deep and strong, it's not the most versatile. You're not going to want to wear this during the summer when it's, just hot, heavy weather already. This is really more of a cold, cool weather type of fragrance, or an evening fragrance. Because this is also kind of difficult to pull off during just like a casual daytime outing, going to get the groceries. You smell like this exotic musk and wood, just projecting everywhere. This could also be a good clubbing fragrance, but I think it's a little bit more sophisticated than to just be, for clubbing. Again, this is a nice, you're going out to dinner, you're going out to see a movie or something, a little bit more step up from clubbing. But the projection here is huge. Even I just put, a little bit on my wrist, you could just tell that it really wafts around. So you don't have to put that much on to get the desired effect. It'll probably fill up a room, especially if you put too much on, you might irritate some people because it's so strong. But longevity, obviously super long lasting. This is minimum 8 hours. It's probably going to be more like 9 or 10. But I do notice as it's starting to dry down, because initially the kind of musky woodsiness of the oud was very, very strong, but now that it's settling down, it's becoming almost a little bit powdery. It's like kind of a nice musky powderiness, a certain smoothness to it. But overall, it's really, really nice. In terms of unisex, it's definitely a very unisex fragrance. A little bit more on the masculine side. Some women aren't into this very heavy oud and leather and resin type of smell. But if you do like heavier fragrances, and especially long-lasting, kind of exotic smelling fragrances, then you'll definitely like this. It's very unique. The only thing that I could think of that's remotely similar to this is some classic fragrances from like the 1930s when resinous things were popular, like Taboo by Dana. That was very resinous, kind of similar to this. That really deep, heavy smell. But in terms of modern fragrances, this is very unique. So again, if you enjoy oud, because this is very oud forward, frankincense and resins and just general woodsy notes, you're definitely going to enjoy this particular Amouage fragrance. And it's definitely better than I was expecting, because I don't know, it just has an immensely attractive just aura to it. But that is pretty much all I have to say about this particular fragrance from Amouage. Again, long-lasting, great performance. I don't have anything bad to say about it, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it and found it helpful, of course you can always leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos like these throughout the week, so don't miss those.